Okay, Patrick, Chris, hi again.
Hi.
Let me start by thanking you and Emily for everything you've been doing for TVC. The figures have been looking awesome lately, but as you know, we want more. We always want more.
So do we want to make more, so you
So
buy more.
that leads me to the first question that I have written here. There's been a tremendous amount of noise in the community about wanting HasLab Figure Dream Packs. Patrick, you said it that HasLab is ever evolving. Maybe it is time to offer this type of HasLab, like Dream Packs. It seems the only way to address the huge backlog of 375 and address all the media coming out at the same time.
It's certainly a possibility. Like, HasLab is not about big things specifically, it's about dream items. And I think we've said publicly in the past, a dream item doesn't have to be huge or of large scale. Like niche figures, or not niche, but like backlogged or more background characters or figures that just wouldn't work in mainline could certainly be potential for those. So it's something we've talked about, could definitely be something we see in the future. There's a lot of cool options for potential future HasLabs, and we're always talking about them, and we'll see what comes in the future.
You're giving me hope. Thank you.
We'll see what comes in the future.
Well, and I would say, keep the conversation going. I mean, we love the fan sites talking about that stuff and talking about what they want to see. I mean, that helps us and helps us help you guys. So it's awesome.
Fair enough. By the way, if we can ask for those dream packs to be 100 new tooling, 100% new tooling, that would be awesome.
We
if they come to be a reality.
I think we know that it's interesting. We always love when we have a fully newly tooled figure to reveal. There's some characters that don't need it, but we certainly understand that that's important to the community.
Okay, thank you. So, second question. Seeing definitive versions of iconic characters like Vader, Boba Fett, and Lando has a lot of TVC fans wondering when we will see definitive versions of Episode 4 Luke, Leia, Han, and Obi-Wan.
Well, we don't have anything to announce.
Okay.
If that's what you're asking, but we know that those figures want updates, and we want to do that at some point. So we don't know when that might happen.
Okay.
But they're favorite characters of ours too.
Okay.
And it's part of continuing to evolve and grow the line. So it's definitely on our radar.
All right.
If we're talking original trilogy characters, I think those are definitely near the top of the list or at the top of the list.
Thank you. Question number 3. It's about TVC packaging. Thank you for the good news. Awesome news. As you know, as you stated, for us, the packaging is part of the product. So in that sense, our question is this a temporary exception, or is more of a permanent thing for now, at least to stay?
Nope, that's the plan moving forward. So again, we said it
Well,
all on
it's
the
always
panel,
been
we
where
said it all in the announcement, but that's the plan for vintage and retro and Black Series anniversary packaging moving forward. It was always the plan, as Chris was going to say. We just like with product, we reveal things kind of at the right time, and this was the right time, and we're excited that the fans are excited and for that direction moving forward.
All right. Thank you. Question number 4. Deluxe figures.
What's that?
Deluxe figures?
Deluxe, yes.
Deluxe figures, like Ahsoka, Boba Fett, the Troopers. From our perspective, they seem to be a great success.
Yeah.
Not only because of the figures, but because of the accessories that come with the figures, like the E-Web cannon that is somewhere around.
Oh, the world building
sense. These figures come with great world building elements.
Right.
Do you have plans to expand on that? Keep adding world building elements to figures?
Yeah, that segment will continue. Yeah,
Okay.
we're excited by that. We love those packages with the little scenes built out on them. And it gives us a way to do different things for TVC
All right.
that we can't just do on a normal figure blister card. So
Sounds good. Just to give you a couple of ideas that we've been discussing in the community.
Absolutely. We'd love to hear it.
If you come up with a definitive Luke Farm Boy, you can bring back the Evaporator from the anniversary line. That would be awesome. Or if you get to reissue the Ad Commander, which is very hard to come by, maybe the tactical screen from Hoth. That would also be an awesome accessory. And why not a playset? A hot playset, that would be
It's a great suggestion.
amazing.
And we absolutely know the importance of world building. For both scales, I think, even a little more for vintage. We also, we fully know and agree that world building isn't just about big things or vehicles.
Exactly.
It's about
It's about the
environments,
minor
playmates.
things.
It's also about background characters, right? It's world building the whole world. And those things are an important part, but, love those suggestions. And again, we could see those down the line.
Perfect. Yeah, you have great barrels. I mean, there are tons of things that you can make. Maybe accessory packs without figures. If that
Certainly
could work,
potential. Yeah.
that could be awesome for us as well. Now, about some of the reveals today, it is great to see that we are having some episode 6 figures coming. I know you cannot comment on things that have not been announced, but can we expect more figures from episode 6 coming in the next few months?
Well, like we said in the panel as part of the pipeline,
Okay.
like what we showed was a preview of some of the stuff coming, but that's not the end of our celebration of Return of the
Okay.
Jedi. It's a big year.
Sounds good. Question about Han. Is it 100% new tooling or is
The vintage hunt.
the TVC?
Well, we'll get into more details on that as we get closer to it. We want to save some news for you guys for later. So.
Okay, and
But he does have some new tooling.
Okay, and what about the Scout Trooper? Because, what I understood from what Emily said is that the bike is new. I'm not sure about the Scout. Is it new or?
The Scout has some new to him as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds perfect.
But the bike is,
bike
again,
is
just
completely
because of
new.
the anniversary, right? Where it's, it's the finale of our 40th celebrations, right? We started in 2017. We built it in 2020 for 5. This is going to be the biggest year yet, especially for vintage. We know that we haven't done what we should have with vintage in 2017 and 2020. We're going to edge a little more in that direction, and so we're excited for, our first newly tooled vintage vehicle in a few years. So just knowing the importance of that vehicle to Return of the Jedi.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Another question related to that. Now that Backmetal painting is back with C3PO,
Yes.
can we expect this kind of Backmetal coming back to TVC?
Or we're looking at it across everything. So
okay.
we obviously did a full Mandalorian helmet that was Backmetal, and that was before any of this stuff. And,
Okay.
and we do it on our premium roleplay sabers where we need to. Now we're getting into R2 and 3PO in retro. So I think we're growing and evolving it. We did it on the
just
pram
gonna
for
say,
the Razor
Razor
Crest.
Crest,
Yeah,
too.
absolutely.
So
That's true.
It's part of our portfolio of options now.
All right.
So
Sounds
looking
good.
for ways to put it in.
Yeah, because
where it makes sense.
A definite C3PO with Backmetal painting would be awesome.
Yeah, don't forget R2.
And R2,
Little buddy.
R2
Yeah.
as well. Yeah, they look really good actually.
They
Both.
look like they did 45 years ago.
Yeah, it's amazing. And one more about today's reveals, the Slave 1 Starship
Boba Fett Starship, yeah.
The Boba Fett figure, is it carded or loose?
It'll be loose.
It will be loose.
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, we handle them in different ways in different vehicles. Like, we wanted to get that figure out. This was the way to do it. But also, it's obviously, it's a higher priced vehicle, so we didn't want to firewall a carded numbered figure behind that.
Okay.
So we could see that figure come into mainline eventually. But right now, the ship is the way to get it.
Okay, sounds good. Now, speaking about R2 and actually about Astromechs. As you know, Astromechs are everywhere in Star Wars. But in TVC, we have only, I believe, 3 Astromechs that have been released or re-released over time. Can we expect more Astromechs at some point in time?
Well, we've got one in the case over there, the
Okay.
one for Anti-Chimerics X-Wing.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So again, it's one of those things that we want to bring that stuff out too. So
Okay.
yeah, we're constantly looking for which Astromechs and which other droids make sense. So
Okay. Yeah, we have a couple.
That was a fun one, and we knew with the X-Wing having been out already, it was an
Exactly.
important one to fill that little gap. So
Yeah, we can bring big Astromech because we
yeah.
have the X-Wing already. So that'll be great. Now a question about the Boba Fett throne room that is back there,
Yeah.
which is absolutely awesome.
Oh, yeah, it's
and I
amazing,
thank you and Emily for that. It's great.
So thank all Emily. Yeah.
Yeah, is there any set date for the pre-orders to come to an end?
Yeah,
Or,
not at this point, but sometime in the relatively near future. I think it's been on pre-order for about 5 months now.
Okay.
And you know, there will be maybe some small quantities available when it goes, you know, quote unquote on shelf.
Okay.
But if you like that throne room, and like you said, it's a work of beauty, the time is coming soon when the window will close, just because we have to start ordering materials to build it and ship it next year. So if you like it, I'd get your order in soon.
Okay. Now let's assume that by the end of the campaign, there are around 10,000 US buyers for the throne room. How would that be perceived by Hasbro? Considered by is that considered a success? Will that open the doors for more stuff like that in that same platform?
Well, I think the general response to it, and we're super happy with it. So I think it's already a success for us. I mean,
because we want more, basically.
You want more.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I'm asking.
So.
Okay, and any idea on when we might see the packaging?
That's a great question. No specific time frame, but knowing how important that item is, that's certainly some packaging that we'll celebrate and reveal in a way that kind of it deserves.
All right, sounds good.
And it's beautiful. I can't wait to share it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know something about it.
Oh, well, I mean, it comes in a box and it's not brown.
Yeah, I know that.
So,
I know that, but about the art. Okay.
Yes.
Now, about the now thicker card stock, which is great.
Yeah, it's starting to roll
Don't
out.
get us wrong, but we have seen some reports. Actually, I think it happened to most of us. That figures. Let me show you the question chat. You know, so you have it. It's about QC issues. Okay. The case is the figures are packed into are not big enough, causing cards to crease above the chart under pressure, and the figure's blisters facing the film out of the opposite figure are imprinting white rings of the bubble or indenting on the card under the pressure. You know what I mean? It's like you can see
when
part.
they're back to back or face to face.
Yes.
Yeah.
Will you be maybe looking into that? Maybe the box needs to be a little bit bigger.
Yeah, we've seen reports of that. Just like with everything, you know, quality control is, you know, super important. Obviously, you know, like we said, the packaging is part of the product for vintage and something we're aware of and definitely looking into it. And you know, we're going to make sure that we fix that in the future.
Thank you. We are almost there. This question is about exclusives. Can you give us some insight as to how the exclusive arrangements work? Because we've seen some exclusive figures that then end up going to retail, to at least fan channel.
Yeah.
Is that new stock, or is that some?
Yeah.
Or are those figures that have been already pre-arranged with the fan channel? How does that work?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, you know, we've talked about exclusives before. They're figures that, you know, just transparently wouldn't exist if it weren't for that retailer. We're able to get additional figures into the line, which is great. You know, we've got a certain period of time where the retailer has exclusivity. You know, they do their run. If there's still demand, it's always our goal to get, you know, a figure into the hand of every fan who wants one. And so, yeah, there's sometimes opportunities for reruns with our fan channel retailers, which is fantastic because, again, that's always our goal of meeting the demand that's in the community.
All right, thank you. Now, considering that TVC represents the best possible expression of a figure, are you open to revisit some figures that have been already released in TVC, but that might need an update as for today's standards?
Oh, you mean like
I don't know,
like the
maybe,
F4 figures you talked about?
Yes, I don't know, Moff Tarkin or Jango Fett might.
Yeah, I mean that's always the sort of stuff we're looking to do, is to continue to improve and grow and evolve the things. So where those make sense to do that, we can get those into lines.
Because
they're the sort of thing though where, and please correct us if we're wrong, but I think fans would not want us to replace a new figure with an update for a figure they already have. So, I mean, in some cases, we try and do that where we can, but it's a game of, or not a game. It's a balance of figuring out how to do all that and get everybody what they want. So, like we said before, I mean, keep the feedback coming.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
it's important to us to understand which figures are important to you guys.
And as you said, obviously, Boba Fett, Vader, Lando, Lobot, like those were characters where we're like, it is important to get a definitive version out there. As Chris said, like new media as well. So we're always balancing that. I think in general, it's older figures beyond TVC 1.0 that are in a sorest need of an update. And, the F4 figures you named off are all pre-TVC. And so I think that's where we're hunting first. But, certainly if there are TVC 1.0 figures that you think are more sorely in need of an update, give us that information. And as time goes by, obviously those will become more in scope because we'll be taking care of more of the older figures.
Yeah, I can give you two. Tarkin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe you can leverage some of Piet's tooling, I don't know.
Maybe.
And Jango Fett. Jango Fett would be nice
Yeah.
to be in.
Would you want either of those instead of the Up4 characters that you named?
No. No.
And that's the balance that
Yeah.
we always try to strike.
But we would love to have those.
But we want them all.
New cards. Yeah, I want them all. That's the point. But maybe new cards for the re-releases, let's say, of the TVC 1.0. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, by the way. For
Yeah.
okay.
One last question.
Yes, it's actually the last one. Can you give us a hint as to what the plans are for the rest of the Cantina Band members and their instruments?
Yeah, I don't think we can give any more hints. I think when we revealed that, we said we were gonna deliver it, and we will. So if you want the Cantina Band, it's going to be possible at some point in the future. But we're excited for when we reveal the actual solution.
All right. Well,
So-
that's a fair question. That's
Yeah.
okay. Thank you. Thank you again for your
Thank
time.
you so much as well. Yeah.
And thank you again for everything you've been doing for us.
Absolutely. Thank you guys.
Amazing
as well.
work.
We love the passion.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We love
Great.
it. It's
Thank you.
important to us, just like it is to you guys.
Thanks, guys.